Okay, this afternoon we're talking to Reece Cameron, who works with Monson's Honey and Pollination. And 'tis the season for beekeepers preparing to travel to almond pollination. So Reece, what's one thing that beekeepers who are traveling interstate to pollinate almonds need to do to prepare?
Yeah, well, firstly, they've got to get their Interstate Health Certificate to travel into Victoria. I think, roughly 60% of our hives come from outside of Victoria. So majority of our beekeepers have to do an Interstate Health Certificate. So before they even get their bees on the truck, get that certificate done and before they head on down.
So beekeepers should give plenty of time to organize that health certificate. They already know they're going, so no need to delay on that. Get that health certificate done as soon as possible.
And they last, they last 3 months?
Good question, Reece. Let's look at the forms.
So you can get it done before, and well before they head on down.
So the quickest way to find that form, if you haven't got it through your state government yet, would be to do a Google search.
Yeah, pretty easy. I've typed in beekeeping interstate health cert, and the top two searches are health certificate for New South Wales and health certificate for Victoria.
So most almonds are in Victoria, so we'll have a look at that link, Moving Bees Interstate, through the AgVic site. So Moving Bees Interstate, obviously you should read through your health requirements, and since you're required to have knowingly AFB free hives, we'll scroll down to the next section and click that link, Certification, Introduction of Bees, that Word document there. So it might take a few seconds to download depending on your internet speeds. This one's 24 kilobytes.
It's not that confusing. It sort of doesn't say just straight up certificate for interstate movement, but it covers a bunch of things. I think because it covers just equipment and all kinds of things.
Yeah, catch-all for different sales of hive products too.
So I'm using a Mac, which you may or may not be, but I've clicked the link, which then is downloaded into my download tab. So that's where the document is that we can alter or fill out. So is that showing?
Yes. The download's showing.
On your screen?
The file isn't showing open. I can see it in the download tab.
Yeah, so I've just opened that. So I'll share that now, which is this one. So if I share that, that's the document that I've just opened up from the...
Yep, that Vic Health Certificate.
Yeah, from the Agriculture Vic website. So you can alter this from your computer and then I guess email it, which is the easiest way.
And that will be the fastest way for turnaround from your state apiary officer to get that signed, so you can send it through to either the Victorian government, or if you're traveling into New South Wales or South Australia, those governments will want a signed health certificate as well before you travel in.
Righto. So we'll have a go at filling one out. And you can see that, can't you, Liz?
Yeah. Yeah.
Righto. So first off, we've got a name. And this is going to be printed off, obviously. You just printed as a printable version, or this can be a printable version. And you can post it off, or scan it in, however you want to do it.
Yeah. Fax it.
So I of, so I honey buzz of, oh geez. This is obviously someone's business name. No, postal address.
Postal address.
Yeah. PO box, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is, so that's pretty straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next line, certify, number 1, gets a little confusing, but you just pick what option you're going for. Introducing hives, how many?
So I propose to introduce, so this is a unit. So what will they have to do here? They have to
Yeah, they
eat
have to
all
put
that.
a number, and then they could just circle bee colonies if that's what they're moving interstate,
Okay.
or you could highlight it, whichever one. You could cross everything out but bee colonies. There's a few options there.
Yeah. So 100 of,
Yeah, and then scroll through, and bee colonies is what we're after. So we could get rid of everything else. Or if you're printing out the whole document unedited, you can cross everything off but bee colonies.
yeah, and there's plenty of space there to put the number before that.
Mm-hmm.
So I propose to introduce 100 of bee colonies into Victoria on a date, which is, say, the 1st of the 8th, 2020, to, so this is the part that gets some people confused because it's got to have an address, right?
Mm. Yep, so name of consignee would be the grower, I presume.
Yeah, the farm, I guess. Of address. So in our situation, when we send the contracts out, we try to the best of our ability have the farm name and location on that, so then the beekeeper can get the address of where that is, which is it's sometimes it's hard to find the address of some of these farms, but if it is hard, like for us, for instance, they can get in contact with us and we can help them sort that out.
Yep. So if you're going
Sometimes,
to a broker, then you can get the address or a rough address.
yeah. And I think the department, if the address isn't there, they will usually get back to that beekeeper and ask for it.
Yep. Yep. So the rest, we're going through basically number 2. You're stating that the hives that you're bringing in are located in an area where they're free of American foul brood symptoms and not within close proximity to hives showing symptoms of AFB or other diseases. Point 2A, Victorian government specifically needs you to provide a honey culture test showing that it is not positive for American foul brood, and it has to be within a year old, and that could be done through New South Wales DPI's diagnostic lab, the Elizabeth MacArthur Ag Institute, or you could get it done at Gribbles, that's the Vic lab that does honeycultures. So you'd need to provide a copy of those results, and you'd get that by post or email from EMAI, the DPI lab, to provide with this completed form.
And that usually should be returned in like within a couple of weeks.
Yes, so hopefully you have one now, but you can write on your form, need this ASAP if you haven't done a honeyculture test within the last 12 months, and they may be able to expedite it because we know that it's a busy time of year now for beekeepers to get to almonds soon.
And if they have any questions, or if you have any questions, then Ellie will answer them. If you get in touch with the biosecurity officer, she'll help you.
Yeah, so get in touch depending on what state you're in or you're going to with the apiary officer in your state. So the next one, point 3, that's again about disease, restriction of disease movement, but that wouldn't be applicable in our case. That's more applicable in areas like in point 4, if you're dispatching comb honey from Tasmania where they have different pests than we do. They have brawlfly, but that's not relevant in this case. And number 5, if you're feeding any pollen back to bees, that it must have been irradiated, which won't be applicable in many cases. And then you sign and you date, and you get the form off to your government apiary officer to look through any documents you may have provided that honeyculture test, and for them to sign and date, give back to you. At that point, you'll be able to provide this to the Victorian government, or for other forms for traveling into South Australia or New South Wales, providing a similar form. And it does note, as we're going through, I think on the next page, there's only one page on this one. For the New South Wales form and the South Australian form, they say to print the form in triplicate, basically print 3 of the forms, so that one's for the government apiary officer, one's for you to keep, and one's for you to send to the state government that you're going into, in this case the Vic government. So keep a copy on hand, keep any documents in the truck that you need in order to justify crossing state borders, considering COVID restrictions.
So it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Done and dusted. It's a means for Victorian government and any other government to try and keep diseased hives out of the state and make almond pollination as safe as it can be for everybody.